Hey everyone. Look, it's humid out and I'm shocked that my hair is not like a giant afro right now because anyways, it's very humid out. Um Today I am going to, as much as I want to keep talking about this bullshit identity theft, fucking illegal conservatorship, whatever the fuck, I'm not going to. I've had enough. Um I'll let God handle it. Anyways, I No, I wanted to sort of talk a little bit about the cannabis convention yesterday. Um, so I live in a state where cannabis is medically legal, not recreational. Technically, it's all federally illegal, so it's just a crapshoot. But um, it was a pretty nice event, I have to say. I try to go every year if I'm around and available. And every year it seems to get like a little bit bigger. Lot of good vendors. There was so much swag. Like, I really trying not to accumulate things, so I mostly just grabbed like business cards, so I could, follow people and get to know more people in the cannabis community. But it was really great. So, anyways, I wish it would have been. I mean, I'm sure they couldn't like do it for 2 days, but it would have been nice if more people knew about it. I mean, they promoted as much as anyone really could, but I just feel like it would be nice if more people knew about it. So it generally happens like March or April. I'm not involved enough to know because I lived out of state for a while, so I should know what the annual, date is, but I don't. Just look for it next spring. Sorry, I gotta roll my sleeves up. It's like warm, but not. So yeah, anyways, yesterday got to meet some new vendors. One of the things I thought was kind of cool is there is a dispensary in Clarion, which I used to go to Clarion a decent amount when we had a campsite there for a while that was in the family, and when my grandma passed, they sold it. So anyways, knowing what I know now, I should have just fucking lived there. That would have been smart. Anyways, so yeah, that dispensary is expanding and putting a location in Bridgeville. It's called Black Bear. There were a lot of it was like a lot of flower, a lot of, I mean, obviously flower vapes, concentrates. Like, they can show you the product, right? They can't obviously sample anything that's medicated. But being in a medical state, it's like, you can't even really, you can only give out certain things. You can't give out things that are like paraphernalia. It's just, it is what it is. But anyways, I would have liked to have stayed longer, but because someone I know, like loosely know through the community, was speaking around 3 o'clock, we just couldn't stay. Like, we couldn't kill like 2 hours there, and then so it was raining. It was just kind of like, you know what, that's fine, we'll go home. But I hope that the convention will make those panels public somewhere. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I'm locked out of my Facebook again, so something tells me that would be one of the most likely platforms to post, videos of people talking for like an hour. So I probably won't get to see it anyways, is my point, but whatever. It was really nice to listen to Jim Belushi's panel. Really cool. Obviously, he's got to grow. He has a brand. I would have really liked to have gone to the True Leave, after event, if you want to call it that. They had like a 20% bounce back coupon, and then he performed. And I feel like if I would have known that there was a performance, like I just didn't really know what was going on yesterday. So it was fine. We just kind of like explored on foot, but like the logistics of getting there weren't like great. We took the T. We would have had to take a T and like transfer and blah blah blah. So anyways, but it was really nice. So those were like the two takeaways that probably like the most positive. I saw a few of my friends and people that I know. it was just really interesting. Like I said, I would really like to see those panels, the speeches and the talks and the Q&As posted somewhere. But I don't know if they'll do that. I mean, it's like they want people to come to the event. And so anyways, I missed her speech and I felt bad about that, but I couldn't stay until 3 o'clock. It was from 10 until 5. And so anyways, yeah, I just think that cannabis gets a really bad rap and I'm tired of it. I can tell you yesterday, when we got back from the conference, you know, smoked a little bit, and, you know, hours later, I left, went home, and my brother was in town. One of my brothers, I have 3 brothers. So I went and had a couple drinks with my brother. Well, I can tell you, there was definitely something going on because I feel terrible today. I only had 3 drinks, 3 glasses of wine. But my point is, with my condition, alcohol just makes your joints hurt. And it's not the smartest thing, but normally I just have like a glass. There's just a huge difference. I've never had, I mean, this is debatable too, but I've never had memory issues where like I can't remember shit because I smoked a joint with a friend. You know, I've had in my 20s mostly, like, you know, I've had times where it's like you have strobe memory of the night. And a lot of that too is like people dosing your drinks. It's not even just the alcohol, it's just an easy way to screw with somebody by putting something in their drinks. Granted, you could say the same thing about weed, you know, people putting things in the weed, but when you're getting things from a legal dispensary, the likelihood of that is much, much, much less. You know, unless you're me and someone just hates your fucking face and whatever. But no, I just feel like there's a really outdated view on weed, you know, and it really does help a lot of people medically. It helps so many things. It helps with mental disorders, anxiety, depression. It helps, you know, just keep people balanced. But it really does help with inflammation. Like there are physical studies that show that it helps with inflammation. It helps with epilepsy. It helps, you know, seizure disorders. There are just a lot of, and there are rare conditions that it treats that, you know, I'm not in the know. I'm not a medical doctor. Just because I worked in medicine doesn't mean I'm a doctor. But I will say that I don't see any positive after effects from alcohol, like other than just numbing your pain, you know, or to get a quick buzz, whatever people drink for. I mean, I just drink socially, but like last night I was in kind of a bad mood, so I had one extra drink, and that one extra drink really did me in. I just don't feel well at all. But that's fine. That's called poor choices. So anyways, but no, I don't see any positive, you know, it causes weight gain. It destroys your internal organs. You know, it's just like, it causes interpersonal tensions with people. It's just so bad. And it's like, sometimes I wonder even, it's like, why am I even having a drink? But like, whatever. So yeah, the convention, like I said, anytime I see things expanding, and I mean, everybody was in a good mood. It was just a really positive event yesterday. And so I always say, when you go to an event and you come back the following year, if it's an annual event, if there's more there, that's positive progress. You know, so I remember the first cannabis convention I went to when medical marijuana was first introduced in Pennsylvania, and it was like there was next to nothing there, but we still went. We wanted to like meet people and see what was up. So my point is, anytime there are events like that, it's a really good idea to go. You always learn something. They usually give, cards for discounts on getting your certification, getting product, whatever. But it's definitely a place where it's just full of knowledge. And of course, you can follow all these people separately online, but like it's really nice when they're all in one place. And, you can make jokes, people that are inexperienced, but like really, I don't think there's any shame in asking basic questions. It seemed as if there were like a little, like, maybe like a little niche, like percentage of people that were just very new. They were asking more like medical questions, which there was like a pharmacy panel later on. So I did not stick around for that. So I feel like I'm even uninformed. I only stayed until about 1 o'clock. I'd been up since 5 and doing stuff, and I just was like, I can't like linger around. But that leaves me, uninformed for what they talked about on the rest of the panels. So I can't really speak to that, but I'm sure it was very informative. And it did seem like there were people there asking questions like who had very little experience, or had possibly maybe not even, I don't know if they've tried it. I don't know what their level of experience is, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I just think it's a positive thing. So we can have more of those. That would be great. Again, the vendors were awesome. One of these days, they will be able to do more sampling. We'll see what this state is going to do. I mean, they're really like teetering back and forth between, rec and medical. So it is a commonwealth. I have a feeling like we'll be medical for a while, but you never know. So it's always a good idea. If you're curious about any of this stuff, I would say like go online, Google the convention. All the vendors are there. But I mean, places like, and organizations, I should say, like normal, NORML, there's no A if you're looking it up, but like things like that, it's helpful to find out, what's going on with the legislation, what kind of bills are in the works, that kind of stuff. And there are people that are very experienced and very knowledgeable about that. And yeah, so you can always just reach out. But again, I would just Google PA Cannabis Convention and go to their website, check out some of the vendors, and then go to their sites and, follow suit. But it's funny how I don't really have much to say specifically. I've really just gotten to a point where it's not that I don't want to talk at all, but I almost feel like most of the shit that I share is futile. I don't know where it's going. I've got some hacker prick fucking with my shit 24/7. So I can't even tell if I'm getting views. They're messing with my views on YouTube, where they're really like hundreds of views, but then it looks like I have like 20. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So it's hard for me to talk anymore, at least for the next like week or so. The last week was pretty rough. I spent time reporting additional identity theft bullshit, and now I am basically trying to navigate my bills through abject poverty because someone took my money and they think it's funny. They don't want to give it to me. So, whatever. It just is really hard for me to make videos right now. I would rather just, hang out with like 1-2 people and sit and talk, or, go to my favorite restaurant, talk to the bartender. I just don't feel like sharing much. But anyways, maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll have something more to contribute. At this point, I really just feel like I just don't even care, and that's terrible, but I've really reached like a pinnacle of apathy for my identity theft and the shit that follows. I've really just reached like the pinnacle of apathy, and I don't care. I just want my money so I can move on with my life, finish my surgeries, and yeah. So, anyways, I've been saying prayers to the universe, to God. Just take care of it. Take care of it. I can't deal with this shit anymore. So, when I have some more positive, uplifting stuff to contribute, cool, I'll come on and talk. I just feel like I always hit a dead wall because I don't feel like talking, if that makes any sense. But I just wanted to say thanks to the people who put the convention on yesterday, and just wanted to tell them that you guys did a really great job, and I would like to come back the following year, provided, you know, that they're still doing the conference. So I was just surprised at, after the fact, talking to people, how many people didn't know it was going on. So maybe next year I'll take it upon myself to do some personal promotion, and I'll just try to like get the word out to people when I'm on the street. I find like word on the street to be a lot more effective than the internet with all these fucking robots and bullshit, hackers and shit. It's just better to just better to talk to someone. So anyways, that's all I really have to say. I have some updates, then maybe I will say more. I'm literally wearing the hoodie I had on yesterday, and I'm just kicking it today as if it's Sunday, because it feels like my Sunday, other than the fact that I spent hours this morning dicking around with Monday chores. It feels like Sunday. So I'm going to go and try to have a good day and just be chill. You guys can always get at me. One of my videos, I think the last one or the one before, has my Instagram handles. If you want to see any of my art, I will be making new art. I just am like in transition right now, so I'm not really sure if I want to start right away or not, but I'm getting rid of the last pieces of art that I had on me. They're at a coffee shop in Greensburg called DV8, like the letters DV8. So they are hanging on the wall right in front of the register. It's pretty crazy just to see that stuff, but they are on sale. They're $30 each. They're 8x10 canvases. They're not framed. I find that people like to pick their own frames. So they're glazed so that, you know, nothing can really happen to them, but they need to be framed. So anyways, those are at DV8. There are 5 pieces, and I'm not making music right now. I'd like to, but you know, that strikes a little bit of a nerve right now, considering they owe me money. So it's hard for me to get back on that horse. I still screw around sometimes and play my bass, but like, I'm not really, I'm not a seasoned player right now. I would need a good month of practice, but I'm not the worst. So, you know, I'm doing that. Still trying to get some kind of side work possibly. So I am applying for like clinical jobs, and they're probably just denying me all over, like, nah, we don't want you. You're too outspoken, and you're annoying. So like, whatever. But I also bake. I bake gluten-free desserts. I just do like private functions, like home functions, and fundraisers. So like fire halls, Masonic halls, that sort of thing. Mostly it's just, I just bake for my friends because I develop recipes. So, but I do that and just work in exchange for donations. I really don't make money off of it. It's just to pay for the supplies and my gas to deliver stuff, basically. I just enjoy doing it. So if you want to check that out, you can go to my Instagram. It's at Everything's Great or at Flammable Animal. Check one of them out. They both lead they both lead to me. And yeah, like I said, if I have more information or something relevant to talk about, I'll hop on. But I think I've kind of reached the end of my rope right now with talking to the people. So other than in person, I really enjoy, I actually, It's so funny how people really think I hate people. That's not the case. I don't hate people. I just think there are a lot of degenerate motherfuckers on this planet that don't need to be here. But that doesn't mean it's everyone. So I do enjoy being in a room like a big convention room with like-minded individuals. That's really nice. If only the world could be one large cannabis convention, maybe my problems wouldn't be so bad. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.